put your records on.
We are back again, people. Episode 91.
You like went down south. Yeah,
we are back, episode 91, Act 2 the podcast. How y'all doing? It's your boy International Walk.
It's your girl Taj, the co-hostess with the most. I don't know why my fingers trick me up.
We are back with another episode of Act 2 the podcast, episode 91. We're sorry for our camera being crooked last week, but it ain't crooked this week. So
I don't think people knew. I fixed it, so I knew if it been messed with.
Well, I knew, and I'm just telling the people I noticed it, so I fixed it, and we good now. So,
production is back on track.
Yeah,
I was sick, so production's back on track.
See, I didn't want to throw her under the bus, but production is back
That's
on
throwing
track.
you under the bus. I was out of commission and you slipped.
Yeah, you're right. She just threw me under the bus. Like,
But
what the fuck is that about? Like, I just said I didn't want to throw her under the bus, and she threw me under the bus. Like, what type of
But
team?
you saying that you didn't want to throw me under the bus implied that I did something wrong.
You was out of commission.
I did something wrong. Gotcha.
No, you didn't do
Where
anything
can they
wrong.
find this show at? Since the video will be straight this
You
week.
can find this show on act2thepodcast.com where the new pictures of us are uploaded. Just go there and look because I saw them all fresh and new. So new pictures of us there.
Shout out to our Connect.
You can catch us on Facebook. You can catch us on TikTok, Instagram, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Anchor, Twitter, Instagram, what else? Radio Public, Spotify. Damn, I was trying to do it without looking at it. But all those platforms, you can see our face and catch all 91 episodes. How you say 91 in Spanish?
91.
91.
91.
91.
Yes, that's 90 and 1. Yo, and just to let y'all know, now, y'all know us. We ain't corny. Like, we ain't about to do nothing that's out of character. But we're about to step up our TikTok game. We're going to let y'all see, we going to indulge a little bit in the TikTokery. Now, again, we ain't corny. We ain't setting up no fake scenarios. That's part of my problem with TikTok. I enjoy it to a certain extent. I like watching, medical procedures and stuff. But I don't like watching, the quote-unquote funny scenes that happen because it's fabricated. Because it'd be situations like, okay, if that happened, why was there just randomly a camera on the top of your refrigerator to capture this scene? So, not knocking with nobody else, too. That's their lane. We gonna go in our lane and participate in some of the other fun stuff that I have seen on TikTok. We ain't dancing either.
No, I get what she's saying, but you also got to realize people have cameras in their house. We have a random camera in our kitchen that just sits there so it can catch certain things. We have a random camera in our living room that just sits there. So if we're acting a fool in our living room, it's going to get caught.
Well, that is true.
And to somebody else who we upload that, it's going to look like, damn, why they got a random camera in the corner there? They set a tripod up. When people don't know, it's our security system.
But the security camera does have clear footage. I'm just saying some videos, and I'm not saying everybody, but some, videos, it's like after a while when you realize that these people are just acting out of scene, albeit it may still be funny, for me, it takes away the allure of it. I'm just saying that's not going to be us, go out the house and then come in and I'm going to have the camera and then act like, babe, what happened?
It's a fine line between documenting your life and your daily activities and some funny stuff than creating content that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
We have good lives and funny shit happens in our lives, so stuff can be documented. We do shit. So,
sometimes I wish that cameras weren't set up
just
always
random
catching
funny
us.
shit. So we do shit. We'll have shit to places to be, things to do, but we're not going to create a scenario like we're some actors or some shit, because that we're not.
Yeah, I seen one, and maybe this is just the naivete in me, where and I didn't realize that it was fake. The theory behind the video was lady's Amazon man was coming to her house so often. You know, they had kind of developed a friendship and she would be flirting with him. Well, come to find out it was her damn husband, and they were just setting up these skits, showing them through the Ring cam or whatever cam that they use because it's recorded, but it wasn't like authentic. Like, oh, this is really her Amazon man. It being a stranger and being your Amazon or UPS or FedEx man kind of changes the narrative, but it's your damn husband. Y'all plotting this. So for me, everybody, I mean, it was cute the first two I saw, but once I realized it was her husband, it was never mind. So catch us on TikTok. We'll participate in some of the TikTokery.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
No, how are you?
I'm doing better than I was, but I'm doing great. I'm doing great. What?
You don't have no mask on.
You just scared me. Like, I thought something was growing out of my forehead. Y'all.
If I go downhill, y'all know who the nexus is. The nexus is the center of all disease spread. That person in the center.
First of all, let me tell y'all this, and I'm so happy to let y'all know this. We have been sleeping together the last 3 nights. So, I mean, and I ain't saying in a sexual way. I mean, during quarantine, we slept in separate rooms. After my 5-day quarantine, we've been sleeping in the bed together. So me not having now, I will say the first couple days, even though we were sleeping in the bed together, I did wear a mask when we were in close proximity because I truly, honestly don't want him to get sick.
But that fucking lessens day by day.
Yeah, like I feel like his immunity is built up. If you were going to get sick if you were going to get sick from me, from this episode of me being sick, I think you would have gotten sick by now. But I am doing much better. I will say mentally, I'm an 8. You know, I feel...
We're not going to do that, cough in the hand and then wave it
Oh
over the
my
head.
God.
You can cough in that hand.
Mentally,
just as simple,
I'm an
and wave
8.
it to the door.
I'm feeling much better. Well, yeah, that's physically, but mentally I'm an 8. You know, I'm grateful to be better. I know that some people, you know, it's a thing called long COVID, and I guess you don't know if you got long COVID until it's long and you had it. And I know some people
run upstairs to take a shit and you feel like you ran a marathon.
Clutch my pearls. Who runs upstairs to take a poop? That's so like...
Oh my God, clutch my pearls. I thought you was like, and scene. Like, what the fuck was that?
All right, financially...
Kate in fucking Titanic, clutch my pearls.
Financially, I'm a 10. I'm a 10. I don't have no complaints. I actually am thinking about my birthday plans, you know, not thinking of too soon, but you know, that's probably gonna break his pockets a little bit for what I got in mind, but we're gonna enjoy it and have a great time. But right now, financially, I'm a 10. Work is...
I will put the kibosh on that so fast.
An 8.
Work's an 8.
Yep, it's work. It's busy. It's a pain in the behind, but it's work.
It's not a pain in the ass. It's just a job. It's your work. It's just, you know, it is what it is. Relax.
It's not my dream job, though.
No, but who does have their dream job?
I could have my dream job.
1% of the people on the planet have their dream job.
Listen, I seen a video today, and this girl, she was saying she has an engineering degree, and she said, let me tell you, I will sacrifice my degree for my man. I will throw this away and be a dedicated housewife. Please know, me and her are here.
No, because work and going out and working, well, actually working and going out, but you have the luxury of staying home. But it's either way, it's, you know,
but for some women, and I can't speak for a man. For some women, and I'm not knocking the career women who are ambitious and have some great career, but that ain't everybody's plight. Like, everybody doesn't have that ambition to be out here in corporate America climbing the ladder. I am so grateful for the opportunities that I've been afforded to be where I am, to be 41 years old, making the money that I make, being able to have the lifestyle that I have. I am extremely grateful. If my husband said that I could resign and be a stay-at-home wife, I am resigning. Like that, and I'm okay with that. And some women will be like, no, like, you know, I worked too hard, or I got my degree. You got all your degrees, and that's fine. Shout out to you. But me, this girl, if my husband said I could set that all to the side and be home baking him cookies and shit every day, guess what? I'm getting an apron in every color. That's all I'm saying.
And as a husband, like, I wouldn't, I wouldn't feel no type of way about that. If I, a little bit more bread, and I would be able to, you can do something like that, but not now.
Yeah.
So, you can quell that motherfucking, that idea. What's your physicality?
Physically, I'm gonna say I'm a 7.75.
7.75.
Yeah, that's 7 3/4.
7.75.
He said I have been riding a 7.5 train for the last couple days.
So she went up a quarter. Ooh.
Yeah, like I still got this little nagging cough. I have a breathing tool that I've been using because
it's a spirometer.
Well, some people may not have understood that terminology.
That's what we're here to do. Make them understand.
It's a spirometer, and it actually was provided to me, or the similar tool was provided to me years ago when I had surgery, like my husband alluded to last week. I almost died and ended up having to have emergency surgery. And one of the nurses, her name was Sophia, a Polish lady who was the nicest person I probably have met in my life. She was saying, she gave me this barometer. She said this will help keeping up your breathing so that as you're recovering and stuff, your lungs don't,
atrophy.
Yeah, and you don't cause other problems. So my husband bought me another one from, I think you can get it from CVS or a medical supply store. You got it from the medical supply store. And I've been using this barometer, and it really is helpful and needed because in the morning time, I realized my lung capacity from using the machine is much lower than as the day go on. It's kind of like having a balloon and you blow it up and it's kind of tight. It don't blow as much. And the more you do it, it expands. So it's helping. So physically 7.75.
Okay.
That's where I am. How are you? How are you?
I'm great. Mentally, I feel good. A little tired, but I feel good. But it's Wednesday and, had a busy week last week a lot.
Why you gotta say what day it is?
Well, whatever.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, like it's 91 episodes.
Okay.
Like, whatever.
They probably know already.
Yeah, like whatever. But mentally I am a 8, so I'm good. Work is about an 8. Work's even too. Work's all good. Nothing on the horizon there. Finances is a 9. So finances a 9. God's always blessing us. Happy about that. Physicality, I feel
good.
I feel with my hand like I always did. I feel with my hand like I always did.
It's so crazy we both reverted to music. Just 2 different songs.
I feel with my hand like I always did. I feel good. No complaints there. I'm a 9.
That's good. So you're an 8.
I feel like when you're a 9, you feel like you can do a backflip.
You think you can do a backflip?
I don't think I can.
But that on TikTok if you do a backflip.
I don't think I can. I feel like I can.
Would you like to try it?
No.
Would you like to try a cartwheel?
No.
Babe, you're not going to try a cartwheel?
Nope.
We might get a lot of views on that.
I ain't worried about views. Wows and woes. Go. Ups and downs. Dark and light.
You want to keep going?
Maybe.
My wow is just feeling better. That's just really it. Just feeling better, having a supportive husband, taking care of me, and just being loved.
She liked me today.
I like him
Wow.
I like him most days. I won't lie. I love him every day.
Back up. Why wouldn't you like me every day? Because what do I do that you would say I don't like you today?
Well, I don't want to lie to the people.
That's some interpersonal shit where it's like I don't feel like liking somebody today because the person that I live with doesn't do anything
ever
where I would look at him and say I don't like him.
Ever?
What do I do? Spill shit on the floor? What do I do?
I'm just saying, there's 365 days in a year. I'm not going to say I like you every day. Now, I can say probably for the last 300, I have liked you. But I'm just saying, I just don't want to tell a lie.
All right, I don't want to tell a lie neither. I don't like her every day.
But I do love you every day. So that's just my wow. Just feeling better, being on the up and up. I appreciate, those who have reached out to me, wishing me well, wishing me well. How you say
Wishing you well.
Wishing me well.
Period.
Wishing me well wishes.
No, just wishing you well.
I appreciate it. I love y'all. My woe. I'm gonna just piggyback. These gray days. Can I get some sunshine? That's all I want is some sunshine. I have to accept the fact that fall is here. It's getting chilly. You know, we got to count down to summertime. But can we at least have a sunny fall day? Like, it's like Noah's. We're going to start building an ark. It's been 40 days.
You sound like Danny. He bitched about 5 days of rain. It's like Noah's Ark rained 40 days and 40 nights.
We on our way. We 20% there.
Now, if it rained 35 more days, you'll be like depressed.
I think I would call it, I would raise my flag before 35 more days.
What would you do? They can't stop it tomorrow from raining if it's on the forecast.
We get on the
getting
plane.
2 more hurricanes.
We get on the plane. We going this week. We
have hurricanes going around hitting islands and hitting shit. This hurricane
going
season.
To some sunshine. Well, maybe we can go to California.
Yeah, maybe we could. They got good weed out there. Got the Gary Payton.
I just want sunshine. So that's just
that
my
Wiz
woe.
Khalifa.
What's your woes and wows this week?
My woe.
Wows and woes.
My wow is God did. Another week for me. I've been talking to God lately a lot. So that's why I've been praising him during these weekly sessions of the podcast, because I've been having conversations with him.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'll burn his ears up.
Well, don't do that. Like, let other people talk too. Burn his ears up.
They big enough for all of us.
Jesus Christ. Take up all the time. My woe is just what she said. It's weird. We think alike, because I'm not usually a complainer of the rain, but it's been raining. And it's been like wet and soggy in the morning, and I come out for lunch and it's like I'm soaking wet by the time I get to the car, like sitting in the car eating lunch. It's no sun. And, it kind of bogs you down a little bit. It's only 5 days, and I know, like, this weekend it's supposed to rain, and then the next week it's supposed to be, some sun, but the goddamn rain.
And, I work from home, so granted, I'm happy I don't have to go out in it like you, but I got 2 windows. I usually open the curtains, peek out, looking at what's going on out there. The squirrels and stuff come and talk to me on the roof, the birds, laying and all that. And it's like, sheesh, like, it's gray. It's literally gray. I'm over it. I need some sunshine. Yeah.
Now that we got that straight. This month, October, is Domestic Abuse Awareness Month out there. So October is, just being aware of domestic violence, people in domestic situations that's hard for them, that they should get out. I don't have a solution. I have a phone number for you, so people out there can call the National Domestic Hotline at 800-799-7233, and you can also start a text at 88788. Again, Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The national hotline is 800-799-7233, and you can start a text at 88788.
Is there and I'm not saying this to be like facetious, is there a color, or so, how like it's different ribbons for different?
I do not know. I would think so, but I do not know offhand.
Okay.
Yeah, I do not know offhand. It probably would be something that would pop in our heads.
For some reason, I'm thinking that it's purple, but I think purple is associated with lupus, so I don't know for sure, but we'll represent the color next, maybe next episode, depending on what it is and if we have it in our wardrobe. One time, I read about this before when we had a different discussion about domestic violence, and this was shocking to me. I mean, it made sense after I read it, but it was just something I never thought about or had to think about, thank God. Going to like the domestic violence websites just to gather information when we did an episode, there was some literature or some language there. Like as soon as it popped up, and I don't remember exactly what the website was, warning women about I guess like making sure you protect your computers, because let's say or your phone, or just protect your internet activity, because let's say you're in a situation,
like your search history.
Yeah, like let's say you're in a domestic abuse situation and you're going to one of those websites to get help or texting or whatever, and it just kind of like gave a warning about making sure that, and that was just like, damn, that's so sad when you think about that. This is when you talked about the different types of domestic abuse, domestic violence. And it was like, damn, I never even thought about that. Like, what you do have to be careful, because you have some situations that are to that extreme where, you know, men are checking your phone and making sure you're not talking to anybody probably, and damn sure that you're not trying to get help.
Yeah.
Or men or women. I don't want to exclude, because it may be a reverse situation.
Anybody out there that's in a domestic violence situation, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, you know, maybe this is the month that you do leave and you do make the decision to go, because you know, it's your life is in jeopardy. And for those who have kids, you know, it's bigger. It's a bigger situation. So I just hope and pray that everybody that's in a domestic violence situation gets in a situation that is healthy for them. Again, domestic violence hotline, 800-799-7233. Start a text at 88788. Big topic, big topic.
Whoa.
Kanye West White Lives Matter shirt. Why? Now, let's, for the sake of conversation, because we know this dude is like, you know, bipolar and shit like that. But why does this guy seem to seek white validation so much? And then to be like a billionaire and black and an entrepreneur and all these type things, it seems like when he gets around, and he did this at a fashion show, so it seems like when he gets around like other groups of people or other white people that's on a billionaire level, he seeks like white validation. And this is not the first time he's done something like this, but this is
like, hell, he was wearing a MAGA cap.
Yeah, but that is kind of like not as bad as producing a White Lives Matter shirt in conjunction with the Black Lives Matter movement. And everybody can feel how they feel about the movement, because, you know, there was some stuff that came out about the girl,
the organization,
the organization or whatever. But the statement alone still rings true, you know. But to create a shirt that says White Lives Matter is like what's that about? So
when I first saw it, right?
Do you like is my point made? Like, do you think he seeks white validation too?
I don't think I think he seeks white validation almost in a sense of, or in an effort to prove, like, I don't think he needs them, like, to give him an attaboy or a pat on the back. I think he seeks white validation in a sense to prove to them, I'm just as good, I'm just as smart, I can do whatever, you can do better. So I don't think it's in a sense of like pandering to them, but almost like we equal. And it's like he goes to the extreme.
By going at black people?
Well, I'm not talking about the shirt first. I'm talking about in general. I think that's what he does. About the shirt, when I first saw it, my first thought was this. This is Kanye. It's more to it than just the literal blanket statement, knowing how Kanye usually moves. He's that type of person that will have something so poignant to say, but he gotta shock you first, get your attention first. And when I'm gonna tell you what I thought to myself, that he's gonna like try to make a statement to say, all right, when people were saying like Black Lives Matter, and they're like, well, white lives matter too, or blue lives matter too, or all lives matter. In my mind, I was thinking that the rhetoric behind this was going to be white lives matter. All right, now that we got that out the way, let's get back to Black Lives Matter. In my mind, maybe just giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm thinking like that's the path we down. Like, y'all want to hear this so bad that we're acknowledging that white lives matter too. Fine, here, we'll put it out there. We said it, white lives matter. Now let's get back to the agenda, Black Lives Matter. And then, so I was thinking
he's not at all affiliated with the Black Lives Matter thing. He's never posted it or never even like was behind it.
Doesn't mean things can't change. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Again, I'm just saying in my mind, that's what I thought. But then it was like, all right, you ain't saying nothing else about this. Like, you just leaving it out there like that.
No, he
like,
did say something else about it. He posted it again and said, y'all want to know everybody said, had something to say about my shirt.
No, I saw that, and when he was saying nobody said anything about his kids and all that.
No, he just said nobody said nothing about my shirt. White Lives Matter. I made this shirt because they do.
Oh, so I missed that post. I seen another post where he was saying,
"Yeah, I seen the one.
People
earlier,
got so much to say.
Right,
nobody had my back when I couldn't find my kids.
And I came out for public support and all that stuff."
But so okay, I missed the one in between because he'll post all this rhetoric and then delete it, and then so I missed the one in between.
The last one was him putting the shirt down on the bed and saying, "Everybody keep asking me about my shirt," and the statement on it. I made this to say White Lives Matter because they do. All caps.
Okay, so again, I don't know the point that he's trying to prove here or what he's trying to do. Because, okay, White Lives Matter. They do. But nobody ever disputed that. So I just want to know, what's your point? What's your point? Because white people didn't even make a shirt that said White Lives Matter.
They would have been. That's like us walking around in a MAGA hat. You're gonna get beat up.
But I don't even think. But see, I don't think that's right. They shouldn't get beat up.
No, they shouldn't. But
white lives do matter. But that has never been questioned. What has been questioned or what has been disputed?
A little bit.
Sorry, what has been questioned or disputed, maybe not verbally, but through people's actions or lack of actions, is the fact that Black Lives Matter, which is why, despite the organization, the movement wanted to show people hey, we matter.
Right.
So for him to say that via his shirt was what are you doing? Give us more. And that's what I was waiting for. But his more was just to I guess like you said, just put a stamp on it. I mean, we know that he got some issues going on. And the thing with him is he's going to continue these antics. And I'm not talking about us. But he's going to continue these antics as long as he continues to get the machine behind him talking about it. He did think about, and I kind of lost traction of.
What is that? Okay, so he like us. He wants Instagram and everybody to talk about him.
I don't even think just us. Part of that white validation. He wants the people in the bigger office, but Instagram too. He wants to be that trending topic. He wants to be relevant. You know how they would say about kids, kids just want attention, good attention, bad attention. They just want attention.
But it's like each one of these, when Black Lives Matter came out, it's the statement Black Lives Matter. White people feel like when anybody that says that statement, it means only their lives matter. So that's why white people never came out with a shirt like that. So it seems like every nationality, even when they used to say blue lives matter or white lives, it matters too. It's we're not saying Black Lives Matter and that's it. We're saying Black Lives Matter because we're the ones getting killed in the street, and that's what you see on TV. So why does every nationality feel like, even if you said Indian lives matter, it would be like somebody would combat that to think you're only talking about Indian lives.
I think that,
or that group of people only care about Indian lives. It's no, we're just looking for the representation to say, like you said, we matter because we're the ones being seen on TV being killed in the streets, not white people. So when we say Black Lives Matter, it's yo, we matter. We're not saying Indian lives don't matter or white lives don't matter or any other nationality lives don't matter.
But I think that point is clearly understood by people who have a small.
It's clearly understood by Black people. It's not that readily understood by white people.
I think it is. I've seen white people who are in agreement with the message. I think the people who dispute it or feel like they have to chime in and say, white lives matter too, all lives matter too, are those that have, whether they want to admit it or not, that sense of racism in them. Because those who have sense and who acknowledge that they see they're not blind. They see how Black people are being treated. I know of white people. I'm not saying friends because I don't have any white friends, but I know of white people who supported it, and you never had to explain to them what the reasoning or rationale behind it. They got it. They knew that.
That's far and few between. There is not that many white people who understand that.
What's that many though?
I don't know what the number is, but I'm just saying, how many people are you talking about when you say So what's that number?
I mean, I'm talking about a handful. I mean, I would
because
say
I've seen settings where it's white people that's talking. Where I seen a Black woman that was asking a room full of white women, would you trade places with a Black person? And a lot of them still say, I don't see the racism that y'all see. I don't get it. Like, so a lot of white women don't
majority.
get it.
I'm definitely not saying there's a majority of white people, but I think that I don't think it's correct to say most white people don't get it. I absolutely don't. And maybe I'm naive because it's only the white people that I'm familiar with that have that realization of, and this is just through social media, whether it's people that I'm social media friends with, or I see people commenting on other people's posts that they're friends with that are white. It wasn't a conversation or an explanation that needed to be given. But maybe if those people have black friends or black social media friends, then that's why there's a clear understanding. Now, if you talk about white people that only have white circles, only live amongst white people, only communicate with white people, then yeah, there's going to be a gap.
I work in the construction industry that's predominantly white, and I might talk to 100 to 200 different people a week. And every white person that I encountered a conversation with about race or George Floyd or Black Lives Matter or police brutality had to be explained to them. They just didn't get it. Like, and this is a ton of white people, a ton of white men.
You had a ton of conversations with white people about this?
Not a ton, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying a ton. I'm saying, like, okay, I've talked about this numerous times, and every time I've encountered this conversation, it wasn't like, oh, I get it. Oh, I know what's going on. Some people don't watch the news like we don't watch the news. So I can acknowledge there's people out there who do get it, but there's a lot who don't. There's a lot who doesn't see it the way we do.
I mean, again, I'm not saying there's a majority of people
whether
that
they're blind or not.
I'm not saying that the majority gets it. I'm saying that there's a lot of white people that I think just common sense is okay. That's like somebody saying breast cancer sucks, and you're like, well, my husband died from brain cancer, that sucks too. Like, nobody's disputing the fact that all cancer sucks, but this person is just voicing how they feel, their experience. But I think there's few and far between of people that you would have to say, well, you shouldn't wear that shirt because there's other types of cancer. Now,
but why has there never been anything like that?
What?
Just thinking about it. Every time I've seen a shirt about cancer, let's just take your example, it's always fuck cancer. It's never been specific. And why do you think that is? Well, I've never seen a specific cancer shirt, have you?
Yeah, that says like breast cancer awareness.
No, that's a breast cancer awareness. I'm talking about somebody that's walking around saying fuck breast cancer or fuck brain cancer or fuck bone cancer. It's always just fuck cancer.
Well, I've seen people that says breast cancer.
Well, excluding that cancer. Because there's breast cancer awareness. Well, I guess the other ones, to be honest, I can't say. So excluding breast cancer, have you ever seen a specific a shirt for cancer?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying about whether it's leukemia or something. Now, the whole F cancer movement was actually a shirt that was made by a not a young woman, I think we the same age, in Philly. She kind of started that thing. And then I've seen people copy off of that to customize it to whatever they wanted it to be. But I mean, I would think that people who have skin cancer or brain cancer or tumors and stuff like that probably wear shirts in support of, you know, whatever their disease or family member's disease is. But the F cancer shirt, I think, was made to be inclusive. Because you figure if you're going to sell 500 shirts. That was
my point, is like, if you say the girl in Philly did it as a marketing tool, it would be better just to make it broad than to be specific.
That's what I was about to say. If you're going to make 500 shirts, look, this fits all of these scenarios. It's going to be harder for productivity to be customized.
Right.
Now, not to say she maybe wouldn't have if people asked, but I think to your point, look, we just want to say F cancer in general. So, but again, that what I'm saying is, in terms of that, like, that's just like saying all lives matter is general. But the point wasn't all lives matter. The point was about Black Lives Matter. So just like somebody, if it's breast cancer awareness shirt, breast cancer awareness month, you're not going to tell people, well, even though it's breast cancer awareness month, you should still have on this shirt for skin cancer. Like, they're going to give the respect to the message that's being broadcast at that moment. Just like respect should be given to Black Lives Matter. It's not saying nobody else's life matters. It never was saying that. It never said only Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter the most. Black Lives Matter only. Like, it was never a definitive or exclusive statement to say that nobody else's life matters.
No, I agree with you. I totally
I'm not
agree.
saying that to you. I know you know.
We're getting off topic with the Kanye thing. Like, the White Lives Matter shirt. That thing he started. Like, this kind of behavior to me is it makes white people behave in a way like they did when Trump was in office. Like, it almost gives them a rite of passage to say nigga, to do the things that they do, the extremist behavior that they have. Like, it gives them the right to do shit like that when you see black people diminishing black people like that. Like, he knows, and even a white person sitting back knows, oh shit, he made a White Lives Matter shirt. That's a slap in the face to his own people. They know that.
I think it's going to ignite that fire in those people who already were the Trumpians, who were already wanting to wear the MAGA shirts and that kind of stuff. I think for other white people, it's probably going to make them uncomfortable. Like, you being in a room and it's like, what the heck is he, like, in your mind you're thinking that, like you said, that ain't normal for him to have that on. What is he doing? And then you kind of don't be like a minority white person in the room where it's mostly black, because then you're looking like,
it's like walking in a room with a MAGA hat. Like, every eye will be like, this is what you decided? Like, you left the house like this?
I seen somebody repost a tweet, and I don't want to sound ignorant because it said Jaden was the name. I don't know if it was Jaden Smith or not. So, because I don't know, I'm not a Twitter person, so I don't know. But it was just from a person named Jaden, and he was saying, it was just kind of like, nah, I left the room, and it was like, I don't care who it is, I'm not going to participate in something that I don't agree with. It was like, I'm not feeling this at all. And it was in relation. I guess he was in that fashion. That's why I was thinking it was Jaden Smith, but it could be any Jaden that's in that world.
Right.
But it was like one of them, he's a black person, but it was like one of them things where you alienate people. You make white people and black people feel uncomfortable in that. Because when you come out in this, you think as a white person, like, am I supposed to clap? As a black person, I definitely ain't clapping. It's almost like now everybody's waiting with bated breath, like, say something, like, you can't just like leave.
But if he comes out wearing the shirt, commanding the room in confidence, and black people are disgusted as a white person, what if you're not disgusted? What if you agree with the statement like we agree with Black Lives Matter?
No, I'm not saying that you're disgusted. I'm just saying you may feel alienated too, because you're kind of like, you feel uneasy. Not saying you're disgusted by it, but you would think to yourself, yeah, white lives do matter, I want to clap. But then you think, especially in that fashion world that's such a mixed population, can you imagine sitting there? This the first thing that came to my head, I don't know why. Gwyneth Paltrow, Fashion Week, you're sitting there amongst the Naomi Campbells and the whoever else of the world is a part of Fashion Week, but a very diverse world. You know, we've seen Lori Harvey at all of these fashion shows. We've seen like Paris Hilton and whoever else. So you're sitting there amongst this diverse community and you see White Lives Matter, you know, and it's like, do you stand up? Like, yes. Like, I don't know.
If we're black and he come out with a shirt with Black Lives Matter, we're gonna stand up and be like, so I don't know. Why can't white people stand up and go?
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Because we would do it. We would roar the room. Yeah. White Lives Matter shirt come out, crickets. White people can't even say.
Is that fair?
No, it's a double standard.
But it's
a lot of shit that ain't fair.
Yeah,
like, that's one of them things you gotta eat. So
yeah.
Life ain't fair.
Yeah,
so
it's one of them double standards that y'all gotta suck up. We got any white viewers out there? We appreciate your support. Don't stand up clapping to that shirt.
No.
Don't stand up clapping to that shirt.
It might be a problem for you. And it shouldn't be, but it's again, I talk
about a lot
about
of things shouldn't be.
Living life the way things are, not the way they should be. Yeah. We all know how they should be, but it ain't. So we gotta adapt to the way things are. Ime Udoka situation. Now, this is sourced by Boston Celtics Reddit. So this is information.
What exactly is Reddit?
I'll get into it later.
Okay.
But he slept with the owner's wife.
The owner.
Yeah. That's what's coming out, and that's why he's suspended and not fired, because the owner is bitter. And if you're fired, you got to honor the contract and pay him, and he can go get another job. If he's suspended, you're not paid, and you can't go get another job. So the hint in the air is this dude slept with the owner's wife the first fucking year you're on the job. Now.
Wait. So this wasn't current. This was when it was his first year.
Last year was his first year.
Okay. That's
he went to the NBA Finals last year. That was his first year coaching.
Okay, I didn't know that was his first year.
His first year coaching. But he banged the owner's wife. And it's like, yeah, men shouldn't cheat at all, right? Black men in particular shouldn't cheat at all. But the cheating, goes on. And there's a lot of people that you probably can fuck in the organization. But the owner's wife, that would be, that's one time a man has to be no. I'm not throwing away my entire life and job, $6, $10, $8 million a year, the bang the owner's wife.
Okay, question. Couple questions.
That's
would you be giving him
can't have.
No, would you be giving him that if he wasn't cheating? But if he was just banging the wife?
No. If he was a single dude, you can't fuck the owner's wife, bro. His name is on your check.
You can get another check.
Nah, you can't. Your first year, that's what you did, bro.
I'm not condoning it.
And sourced by Reddit, this dude was running through a whole lot of stuff in Boston.
Well, that's okay. That was another question, because I was going to say, they said the one of his conquests was the person who was responsible for orchestrating his family's move, and I'm thinking the owner's wife ain't orchestrating that.
And I heard that's bullshit. I heard that's just some stuff that they put out there to deter you away from knowing that it's the owner's wife.
Sheesh.
Yeah, a person in the Celtics organization leaked this. So again, it's coming from Reddit, but that's what it was saying, that the owner's wife was slept with, and a lot of people saying it's going to come out, it's going to come out.
Who is the owner?
I forget the dude's name.
Young, old,
older guy, but I forget the.
I know white.
Old.
Well, old is subjective.
Every NBA owner is over 50.
But being 55 ain't that old than being 75. That's what true. I mean. I'm just saying.
Well, every one of them's over 55. If we get their ages out on the Google, they're probably in their late 60s and 70s.
But that don't mean their wives are. So that's true.
Their wives are in their 30s and 20s.
That's true. Sheesh.
But that I'm just saying, you shouldn't cheat. And you might bang a cheerleader. You might bang the assistant. You might bang your assistant. But the owner's wife?
That's a big conquest.
What balls you got? You I'm gonna fuck the owner's wife.
Sheesh.
That's crazy if this comes out to be true.
Not only that,
owner's wife.
Her too. What's wrong with you?
And that's why nobody has been penalized, because it's the owner's wife. There's not gonna, because if you got two people that work at the same place and you have a conduct policy, they both violated it.
But she don't work there now. No,
but she's an employee there. She gets paid. But she's not going to get reprimanded because she's the owner's wife. What do you mean I got to reprimand my wife? No, I don't.
I would sue. Yeah. If you want to fire me, fire your wife. If that's the policy, that's the policy. We taking this to court.
Policy null and void when you fuck the owner's wife. The judge would tell you, bruh, you hit his wife, bruh. Damn.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, you hit his wife.
You know what makes me sad about this situation? And this ain't just because it's Nia Long. Because I'm not of that mindset to think, the Nia Longs, the Halle Berrys, the Jennifer Lopez, the Beyoncés, those who, we put on a pedestal of being the most beautiful women. They're all gorgeous. The Natasha D's, none of us should be cheated on.
Yes, sir.
But what makes me sad is the fact that it's in the public eye. And paparazzi, people in general, I seen a video, I didn't even watch it. because a lot of times I don't like the sound of people's voices, so I don't listen to the audio. So, I mean, I'm sorry, I watched it, but I didn't listen. But somebody like walked up to Nia. She was coming out the supermarket with her son. Like, come on, people. Like, we know what it is. What you want to ask her? What could you possibly want to ask her? You know she's not about to give you no real tea. Is she with her kid?
Supposedly her publicist put out a statement that saying Nia is staying. She's saying Ume Udoka made a mistake and every good man deserves a second chance.
What if it's okay, this is another thing too, that we, the public, we realize that we are piecemeal information. And let's just play this out, right? And this is kind of like the situation that we talked about on the last episode about Joe Budden, where it's like you hear a piece of information and then there's all this conjecture around it and you really don't know the details. So we're hearing this information just now. What if this was a situation not like making it right, but what if this is 2022, October, right? What if this was a situation where this just was found out, but this happened like June 2022? She might be like, oh, we was kind of new, or we was on a break at that time, or whatever. We weren't as established as we are. So people could be looking at her with a side eye, thinking that, oh, she's staying. But we don't know. This is why, and I hope I'm not jumping the gun because I don't know what your 3 grams are. But this is why, like, I just kind of shake my head and laugh at people when they be so surprised about people getting divorced and breaking up and stuff when things are posted, because it's like, you can't possibly have any idea, and you shouldn't even have any assumptions about what goes on in other people's relationships.
But there's a fine line with that, because we all like, again, the way it should be and the way it is. You all want to just mind your business, but you have these people who have these public relationships, so we talk about the stuff that's presented to us.
But is that a public relationship? I mean, it's their relationship. Sorry, their relationship is less public than ours. Like, we're on a podcast every week talking about how much we love each other.
Yeah, they are a public relationship. He's the coach of one of the most historic franchises in NBA history, and she's Nia Long. Nobody had to know that they was together. Who put that out there? Their publicists.
But what I'm saying is,
yes, they have a public relationship, which means when they say they're getting divorced or they say they're getting married, you don't have to put that out there. So you don't have to make it public for somebody to say, oh, why are you getting married? Or you're marrying him, or when they get married. You could just get married and don't say anything.
So, okay, I think the status of their relationship is public. I don't think that means they have a public relationship.
No, they have public lives, babe. She's an actress and he's a basketball coach. They have public lives. And when you sign up for that, that's what you sign up for.
See, now
you can try to make it as private as you want. And I believe you should have some privacy in your life, but don't get it twisted. Your job says a certain amount comes with this.
So, okay, so looking at Beyonce and Jay-Z, would you say they have a public relationship, or just their relationship status is public knowledge?
No, they have a public relationship. We know about their kids' names. We know like shit
but
like that. But
we don't know anything about their relationship other than they're married. We know nothing about.
We know he cheated. We know she made a song.
We know songs were made about it.
Okay, but that's not, you're minimizing. You're minimizing it. You're minimizing it.
Okay.
They have a public relationship. They're public people.
I
think you stop couching it. Like, they're public people. We know the little things about Beyonce and the stuff with the kids. He cheated. She took him back.
What do we know about the kids other than their names?
That's their relationship. It's their kid. Like, stop this. This is nonsense. Stop this. Knock it off.
I don't look at Ime and Nia as having because
but you're probably the only one. They have a public relationship. That's fact. It's not like because you don't think so.
Opinion?
No, it's fact. They have a public relationship. People who relationship is in the public like that, who put their relationship out there, people can talk about it because you don't have to. You don't have to do that.
Is everybody's relationship public if they post a
Why
picture
does
on social
anybody's
media?
relationship status need to be public at all? So when you
listen,
say we know the status of a person's relationship, why do we even need to know that?
We don't.
Okay, because that's what I mean. That's my point. They're making it public for a reason.
Well, they're making it public because she shows up at his games. She's there on the sideline. So people start to speculate. And then it's just like, okay, yeah, they're together. It ain't
She
like...
could be a fan of basketball. She could be a fan of Boston.
Sit in front row next to the coach.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so is everybody relationship considered a public relationship if they post a picture on social media?
No.
But
We're talking about
fit.
basketball coaches and actors and super entertainers.
Okay.
Those were your examples.
So do we have a public relationship?
Yes. Yeah, we're showing our relationship and the things that we do.
I want it
places
private.
we go.
I want it
and
private.
things that we talk about when we're beefing, when we're not.
I was being facetious. I do acknowledge that we
What's our word? Transparency. So yes.
Yeah, I do acknowledge we have a public
now
relationship.
we only give what we want to give, but for the stuff that we do give to the public,
we only what?
We only give what we want to give.
Your voice like cracked.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you wanted to do it again?
Yeah.
But Mia saying she's staying, I don't have no issue with that or whatever, because again, I don't know anybody's relationship, so I'm not knocking her. She stay if she wants to. But I do know it's a difference in being cheated on in private and being cheated on in public.
Yeah.
So, and I know cheating is cheating, but you can't tell me that those two things aren't different. Because being cheated on in private and you and your man fixing it and going through it alone is one thing, then every fucking day people talking about your relationship in the public.
And then you don't know if conversations you having with people are genuine or if they looking at you with pity. And again, it may be unnecessary pity, because it could be a situation where she like, all right, like he banged her a year ago. Y'all just finding out. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe she just finding out too, because they did say like she didn't know.
Maybe they have an open relationship. Again, this is stuff that she's talking about. We don't know the intimate details. Maybe she's like, that's what we allow.
And that's not her husband. Let's just say that. I mean, I'm not saying it's right. Boyfriend or girlfriend, if y'all in a committed relationship, you still shouldn't cheat. I thought they were married, but not yet. It is her fiance. But, you know, all power to her. I hope that whatever they go through, they get through. On the other side, they're able to heal through it and from it and be better for it, you know? He's a great looking man. She's a great looking woman. They seem to love each other. And
if he's a good dude who actually made a mistake, then okay, he'll atone the rest of his life to fix it. And there's people out there that have done that. So salute to them. Yeah. Again, no judgment here whether she stays or goes. You got something you learned? Because I'm going right to the grams.
Just that I love you.
I love you too,
I slacked up a little bit. I ain't learned nothing this week.
I love you too. So wow, I'm glad I learned that. 3 grams. Ooh, all these. No, because we heard of like, you know, some people in let's just say non-fictional people.
Okay.
Of getting like or like all these divorces that's going on, okay? So let's just go with Tia Mowry and Corey Hardwick. Did you know Hardwick?
I read about it. And so it's funny because I commented on somebody's post. Somebody had posted it and one of her friends was saying, damn, I thought they look nice together. And to me, I said this, like, it's funny that I keep seeing people say that, because where the hell you ever see them together?
Nope.
Like, you see a picture maybe.
I don't know when the last time I seen him. Like,
you see a picture of them like maybe once, and I no shade to either of them, like whether they were happy or not. Like, you see a picture of them maybe once a year, and usually it's like
Christmas.
It's usually like a Nickelodeon movie or something, because it's like them and their kids on a red carpet or something. So it's like a Disney or Nickelodeon event. You see them there, and so when people are like, "Oh, they were so cute together,"
it's like they're on a lot of
where
where
were they so cute together? Like, I forgot that they were together. I mean,
I was like yesterday years old when I found out that they was together, to be honest with you. I didn't, because I remember dude from TV, but I'm like, damn, where the fuck he been? Like, I never see this dude. And then when I do see pictures of them, it's usually because they're dressed alike on Christmas, and that's when I see her post.
And then people like, you never know what's going on behind the scenes. They could be very happy. This could be an amicable divorce. Every time somebody gets divorced, to me it's sad because it's like, damn, I wonder if they could have worked that out. You know, marriage is a beautiful, beautiful thing, I think. But it doesn't mean that like it was horrible behind the scenes. They could have just been going in different directions. They could be amicably splitting up. It doesn't mean that, you know, everything you see ain't what it appears to be. All the pictures that you see could be what it appears to be. They could have been happy moments. They could have been loving moments. But they could have decided last week, you know what? I'm kind of over you.
I mean, I get what you said, but people just don't wake up and decide that. That's like, it's Tuesday. I had enough. For
me, I feel like
we took the kid to college. We're gonna go to the place and get the papers down. Like, they don't do that.
One thing about them I can say is like when you did see them once a year, it was never like sparks flying.
No,
like, you know,
it just was just standing next to each other.
Yeah,
it wasn't like good body language.
But I wish them both the best.
Miguel and his wife getting divorced
again.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Let me tell you this. Talking about sparks flying, that is one couple that it's sexy as hell as a couple. They announced like a year ago they were getting a divorce, and then they dropped it, and they were like back together and being sexy again. Like, I would like to be a voyeur somewhere and like, not sex, but just like watch them because they are so sexy together. So maybe the sexiness, like once they finish sexy time, they couldn't like.
Please don't judge her for that.
Get it together, but that, and they're so beautiful.
Tom Brady and Giselle divorcing.
Now, okay.
Why is it like a theme though? Like,
okay, listen. I don't want to beat a dead horse, right? But that's another situation where I think their relationships and I don't, just listen, just follow me. Their relationship status is public. We know they got kids. We know they're together because they're public figures. But I feel like that's another couple. We know nothing about them except he eats $18 ice cream. But we know nothing about them.
That's because of them. They only put in the public what they want you to see, but still they have a public relationship because that's Tom and Giselle. She's a supermodel. He's the best football player ever.
With them, though, I'm not surprised. And again, this is my own Tasha logic.
People know their kids' name. They know, like it's.
I don't know their kids' name.
You don't, but I'm just saying, people know their kids' name.
Tom Jr.?
Is it Tom Jr.?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. For them, and this is just my own Tasha logic, I don't know if this is the reason, but I would bet, right? Because he said he was going to retire. And as a woman, when you know you have this man who I'm sure works like a machine, it takes away from family time, probably takes away from sexy time between them. And he said he's going to retire. I'm sure that was probably conversations that y'all had. And then he changed his mind. You like, nah. Like, she probably gave him an ultimatum, and he probably chose to stay playing football.
That's what most people do when they get ultimatums. They take what they wanted to do because people don't like to feel boxed in like that.
You should have chose your family if that's what you wanted.
It's not that he didn't chose his family. He just didn't like her telling him that I have to, you got to look at the stuff he accomplished. Like he like him walking away when he lost, like he's the greatest quarterback that ever played that position. And you have to look at his status and be like, okay, I understand you wanting one more year. You earned it. You deserved it. Even though you said you retired and 48 days later you said you coming back, like you earned it. You only did that so you didn't have to go to training camp. Like everybody knew that. After training camp was over, you unretired. You just didn't want to go play in the heat and do all that other shit. You just want to play football. So I get it, but you earn one more year. You earn that from your family, from everybody, because of who you are.
Maybe she just said,
and what you mean to that sport.
I mean, again, that's just our own logic. We making it up. We don't know if that's true, if that's the reason. Hell, he could have cheated with the owners.
Again, for the sake of conversation, we're only talking about the facts that we're presented here. If we get new information, then we have new conversation. But right now, this is the information.
That was so official. You sound like, a professional.
People trip out. It's like, yo, this didn't happen. Okay, that's something new that came out we didn't know. So we're
making it
talking
up.
about the shit that we know about, and we're giving a perspective on that. When we know some new shit and new details, it's a different conversation. Just like with y'all conversations. So miss me with all that.
Don't get all crazy with the people. Did you? Oh, go ahead. Did you have another one?
No.
Did you also see that Jeff Bezos' wife, like she's like a quadrillionaire, that when they split up after 25 years, I didn't even notice she married a school teacher. And no shade to school teachers, but I just don't know how a woman who's not only been married to a quadrillionaire, she's part quadrillionaire herself. Then you go to a school teacher. I just don't think they divorced that. They're getting a divorce after a year. But I don't think it ever stood a chance.
She tried to try a regular life. But it's not going to work. Because if you're a woman, like, let's just say pick you. Like, you want your man to do stuff for you and be a man. Like, he can't do that on her level. Like, her lifestyle is...
Like if she says, like, I want to go to Belize for 6 months.
She can do that right now.
And he like, I got to go teach the kids.
Yeah. So that's not going to... You can tell, like, just from the optics, like, you just tried to have a regular life. But your bank account, you can't do that. You got to give away all your money to do some shit like that.
So do you think she is, like, she'll probably never find somebody, or she got to find another quadrillionaire?
No, she probably can find a love, but she probably... it's like one of them things. I'm not getting married. If so, you're gonna sign a prenup. But
I think that
when you got money like that, you can't be falling in love willy nilly.
That's sad though.
It's a shame, but you created something.
I know, not willy nilly, but I'm saying just to find love again.
It just makes it that much harder because people want your money. I'm not saying you won't find love. You should have love. But it makes it that much harder because you don't know if that person is sitting in front of you because of who you are and what you got, or because they really fuck with you.
Yeah.
That's the tough part.
Did you have more, Grams?
No, that's 3.
Well, we had a couple questions, right? And just wanted to tell y'all really fast, we did see some responses. And these questions were follow-ups to our conversation, episode 90, if you watch episode 90. So let's get to it. Thank you for y'all participation. But I'm going to say this right here, right? What's up with y'all people that watch the story and y'all don't vote? I mean, I get it. Not everybody wants to be involved or got time to be typing a whole bunch of stuff. But if it's as simple as hit yes or no or hit one of the answers, why? Why don't you? Just why don't you? Maybe you don't want to and nobody can force you, but it's so simple. You're there already. Why don't you? Okay, that's just me. Okay. Let's look at the question. So we asked about the, would you buy a home where a murder happened? We talked about it last week. He said, hell no. I said, if I love it, I would. 30% of Americans said that they would. And y'all were 50-50. Some people, the 2 options were, I'm signing the deed, or nope, tear it down.
Y'all signing the deed, people. Y'all different.
Y'all was straight down the middle, 50-50.
Y'all different. Y'all out the pocket, though. Y'all not in the pocket.
Next one, we talked about the wedding venue who, it said allegedly refused to refund the bride after her husband committed suicide 2 weeks before the wedding. So we asked, what was y'all opinion? Should they refund the money or not? We got quite a few responses. 100% of people said yes.
And I don't believe that should be true.
Yeah, and then we did ask, for people
just
to share their thoughts. Just answer this
question, though. Why would your pain have to be a stranger's pain, too?
Financially, yeah.
Especially on the financial tip. Not like saying they don't feel empathy for you because we're all human. But you don't know these people at the venue. Why do you think they should have to eat an invoice that... Because if they did that to everybody that happened to, or everybody who a husband or wife passed away before the wedding, like, that's not a policy that they should take on where we'll eat the money just because we feel bad for you.
And you know something
like,
else?
We can feel bad for you, but we don't know you. We like it, and it gets into a line where it's like, okay, you're being harsh, but it's like you're strangers to us.
But you know something else that I seen somebody say, and I thought this was a good perspective. I didn't think about this initially. A venue, most venues offer food and all that kind of stuff. When you're talking about 2 weeks before a wedding,
your shit is prepped.
Please believe that they have shopped And we know,
Yeah.
excuse me, we know personally some caterers.
They got people
They
on the
have
schedule.
shopped for your food. They may not have started cooking it yet, but like your money has been spent. Some of it, if not all of it. And 2 weeks before the wedding, for them to now give you back the money without them having somebody to fill in that spot, it's one of them situations.
Yeah, and it's almost a guarantee nobody will fill in that spot, because when you're talking about a wedding, nobody books a venue in 2 weeks. The venue was booked months. Well, we did, but the venue was booked months before that. So
you know what else I saw somebody saying? I thought this was genius. Have the repast there.
There you go. So we're using it anyway. But if you're paying us for a service and we're not giving you the service, like, I don't understand what the situation is.
Yeah. Would you say that again?
Like, if you want to have your wedding here and your husband died and it's not happening, like we can't refund the money,
right? Because
we're not going to be able.
Well, that's
to
what I'm saying.
Place.
Use the service. Have his repast there.
Maybe we don't have repasts here. We have weddings here.
We did say, give us some comments, some feedback on it in addition to voting. So somebody did say, it depends. If it was like the day before or day of, no. But if it was well in advance, yes, some should be refunded. Now, again, it was her husband committed suicide 2 weeks before the wedding. So it wasn't a day or day of, but 2 weeks is very short notice.
I don't see why people are using that language, should be. Why should it be?
Well, because, and then somebody else said have some compassion.
Yeah,
so,
okay, I understand having compassion, but
I mean, the thing is, you talking about, this is one of them situations where it's business, is not personal. And I know, I don't want to be a hypocrite, because y'all know I have often said, have a human element, add a human element to things. The human element here also has to be, I know you lost a husband, but this venue, this company has payroll. Like, so, I mean, it's one of them things where, I mean, chalk it, sis. It's unfortunate you lost your husband. Hopefully that wasn't like a huge financial, didn't cause a huge financial deficit, emotional, mental, of course. But hopefully it wasn't like a huge financial deficit to you. It's just one of them situations. If they did, would it be nice? Yes. But if they didn't, are they absolutely wrong? No, I don't think so.
It's like, I just so much more to worry about than this in a time like this. Right,
but again, unless this put a huge financial burden on her.
Right, where she can't pay for his services or something like that, then I see it being an issue. But if not, like in this type of situation, I would think, I'm not concerned with them people. I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't want my pressure up. Like, I'm not trying to debate with nobody.
And I mean,
like,
unfortunately, some people spend an arm and leg. I ain't counting nobody's pockets. It's your business. My brother-in-law, the wedding that, unfortunately, where I got sick from, but they had an amazing wedding venue, but reception venue. I don't know anybody's money. I don't need to know. But I can imagine something like that being pretty costly. And it just, for me, is one of them reminders that, if you do spend a whole lot of money or not, that doesn't determine the love that, you have between. I'm very happy with how I planned our wedding in 6 weeks. Our budget was solidified and we stuck to it. And it wasn't astronomical. So, I mean, I know there are some people that do it up big. But you can do it up nice for a smaller amount of money. So, condolences to the family in general, whoever this woman is. That's a horrible thing. Like, not only did you lose your fiance, like, it's just a horrible scenario. It is.
Yeah. Condolences to that family. Let's do a wrap. A2TP Podcast, episode 91. Say it in Spanish again.
91.
Episode 91. You can catch us at A2TPodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram, Breaker, Anchor, Twitter, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Twitter, TikTok, doing all that shit. You can catch our faces there. A2TP Podcast, episode 91.
What's your face?
A2TP Podcast, episode 91. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.
food.